Hi, this is Govinath and today I am going to give presentation on Aadhaar enable secure travel identity. Every public and private service agency require proof and identity to provide and service for their customers, like bank account, gas line connections, and entries in their ration cards. UIDAI stands for Unique Identity Authority of India. It is a government agency that is responsible for the Aadhaar project. It uses demographic data and biometric data. Demographic data. Demographic data consist of name, address, date of birth, and biometric data consist of photo, iris, voice, and fingerprints. The major two steps in creating an identity are identity creation and identity authentication. Identity creation means it is a mechanism used to identify an individual. This may be a manual process or an electronic process. The identity used in our projects are what the user has are bank account, driving license, passport, PAN card, and ration card. All the informations in these cards are linked to the Aadhaar, and what the user know are username, password, PIN, that will be of OTP, one-time password. This will be discussed in later, and security questions. The security questions will be provided by the user to the Aadhaar. So, if the user forgot the username and password, in the security questions will be used to record the password and or username. This all will be stored in the Aadhaar, and what the user is, that will be the photos, biometric information, photos, iris, and voice. And the identity authentications are the stored information and the individual data will be compared so that it can be we can identify whether the person is an authorized person or not. This can be done by manual or electronicals. The main uses of Aadhaar are establishing persons and proofs of delivery. In this, confirming the beneficiary, like foods and products supplied in the publics is like in ration cards, and the services provided by the privates are entered in this, and attendance tracking, like tracking the persons in schools and offices, and financial transactions like bank transaction can be tracked using this, and establishing know your customer credentials. Like in this, we can use Aadhaar to create a new account, bank account, and general products like making entries entering into libraries and shopping malls, like hotels. And what Aadhaar will do and will not do, or the information of a user will not be stored in the card, so that it can be secured, and the information will be stored in the centralized database. Only the yes or no will be sent to the application or the organization. and the information of the user will not send to the organization or application. And this is the component structure of the our application, that is UAA. AUA, that is stands for authentication user agency. Authentication user agency, any organization or application that is need to use the Aadhaar will need to register in the CIDR, so that they can use the services of Aadhaar. The registered companies or application that are called Aadhaar enabled application, they are called the AUA, and ASA stands for authentication service agencies. It is responsible for establishing secure connection between the AUA and the CIDR. It may be a middleware or a software. A middleware is an software or hardware that is responsible for the transmission of data between two devices or two softwares. And the other advantages, it's ASA supports like multiple protocols, and it supports multiple data formats. Since the communication devices are vary according to the applications and users, it consists of a built-in conversion, that is one format data is converted to another format depending upon the applications and the hardwares. Other supports provided by the ASA are reporting, authenticating, and validating. Once the AUA request for a service, the request will be transmitted to the ASA throughout the network, and it will be handled there, and it is again transmitted to the CIDR, and from there the response will be transmitted to the AUA. ASA supports synchronous and asynchronous transmission. Synchronous means continuous data transmission, and asynchronous means the data will be transmitted later or depending upon the time constraints. HTTP handler is used for synchronous transmissions, like it will handle HTML request and response, and message handler will handle the message request and response. And this is the flow diagram of the other process done in the using Aadhaar. Once the user requests and services to the application or an person, here it is validated, and the data will be transmitted manually or through electrical to the AUA. From that, it is transmitted through to the ASA through the ASA secure transmission protocol. Again, it is transmitted to the CIDR. From there, the data will be validated, and the response will be yes or no. It is again transmitted to the ASA and then back to the AUA. If it is an authenticated person, then the service will be provided to the user. This is the flow diagram of bank transaction using Aadhaar. It uses a one-time password, that is for every transaction only one password is generated. For the second transaction, and another new password will be generated. First the user will request for a password to the CIDR. From there, password will be generated, random password will be generated and given to the user, and the same password will be given to the bank. The user used this password and his login for a transaction, and this will be transmitted to the web server, and from there it is transmitted to the bank. Once the password is validated here, if it is a correct password, then the transaction will be held here, and the account will be and the amount will be transmitted and the response will be given to the user. And this is the coding used in our project. Or if you want to use the database, we need of drivers. That is a software that establishes the connection between the application and the database. We use in JDBC ODBC driver. To use this driver, we want to implement in our codings the keyword used or class dot format. This is the keyword used to implement the driver in our application. And after using the driver in our codings, we want to establish a connection object. This is be done using the driver manager. After creating the connection object, we want to execute the query. The query will be executed using the keyword execute query. In this, we want to pass the query as an argument. In the connection object, we want to pass the URL, username, and the password as an argument. After executing the query and finish all the process, we want to close the created connection object. This will be done using the keyword connection close. And the main advantages of our project is it is highly secured and unique, and we can avoid duplicates, and we can use this Aadhaar for any applications like any services like passport, bank, and driving license, and gas online pumpings, and many others. That's all. Thank you.